Welcome, my dear students. Another fresh day to all of you. I am Soumya Nayak, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Department of BIT. Continuing my classes on the problem of gear ratio, simple gear train, and simple gear concepts. Then today now going to discuss about the last gear ratio problem, that is compound gear train. Okay. In compound gear train, what's happened? More number of gears are arranged, but not in a simple way because there is another gear between each other. Okay. The B is a gear which is arranged in such a way that it is get inserted in the gear of the D. Okay. That's why it is a compound gear. All the gear are arranged with each other. How it is functioned? That means the driver gear is what? A. Okay. A is the driver gear, 8 teeth is already given. Whereas another, the B is a driver gear. Okay. B is a driver gear already given. B is a driver gear and driven gear is 24 teeth. That is D is the driven gear. D is driven gear, driver gear is B, and next driven wheel is 24 teeth. That means what's happened over here? What are the driver teeth are there? Driver teeth, A is a driver, okay, and B is a driver, okay. Driven is a D and C is a driven. That means what? A will rotate. If A will rotate, then the D will rotate because A is connected to the D directly, okay. So A is a driver gear, so D is a driven gear. Similar purposes, if B will rotate, okay, when B will rotate, as B is a driver gear, for the purpose of B, the driven gear become C will be the driven gear, okay. These are all concept about the compound gear and how it is work. Now go for the problem, how we can able to do it. We already know that gear ratio is equal to N1 means input gear or driver gear speed by driven gear speed by the driven gear size number of teeth to driver gear size or number of teeth. Similarly, T output, torque output is equal to gear ratio into torque input. 1 and 2 means 1 is input and 2 is output. Let's take the NA. NA means what? The speed of the A. Okay, it is not given over this. So let's take the N of the A is 100 RPM. And let's take the torque. Okay, torque is 600 Newton per meter of TC. Okay, this gear. Okay, TC torque. T means torque, C means the C gear, driven gear. Okay. Now we are going to find out the first AB. Already get discussed in the simple train, in simple gear train. So go to my previous video to watch that video to understand this class very clearly, because some things I already get discussed, okay, which is not get repeated in these classes. I already discussed about that. First of all, I have to find A and B. Okay. This A and B, this A gear and B gear. First case in A and B. In A and B case, what happened? A is a driver gear and B is a driven gear, whereas A directly connected to D as a driven gear. So for that purpose, we will be go for A and D, because A is a driver, because this 2 is driver gear, okay. A and B are what? A and B as driver gear, okay, whereas C and D is a driven gear, whereas CD is a driven gear. Okay, these are driven. So first case will go to discuss A and D, because why? Because A will be the driver and D will be the driven gear. A is input and D is output. For that purpose, what is the gear ratio first in A and D? Okay, the gear ratio first of A and D. Okay, if A and D gear ratio is equal to what? N1 by N2, N1, N2 is not given, but teeth, the number of teeth we know, output teeth by input teeth, T2 by T1, okay. T2 by T1 means output by input. In here A and D, output is driven. Driven means what? The D, the number of teeth of D gear is given 24. Okay, that means teeth of D gear, output gear by input gear is A. Teeth of input gear. That means teeth of output gear D is 24. and teeth of A gear is 8. Okay, what is the ratio? 3:1, or you can write 3/1. For first gear ratio you're getting for A and D. Okay, next we have what? Another driver and driven, we have B and C. Okay, another that gear ratio we will get find out B and C. B is driver and C is a driven part. So in the B and C, in BC, C is a driven. That means what? Same ratio coming after, that is TC. Okay, TC by TB. TC is what much? TC is 24 number of teeth, and TB, the teeth of B is what? Teeth of B is 8. It is also same, that is 3/1 or 3:1. Okay. Now find out if Na is 100. If Na is 100, the speed of ND will be how much? That means we will go for the ratio 3:1, the same ratio. Gear ratio of A and D and gear ratio of B and C of both gear are same, 3:1. So that is the way we have to go for find out the N1 by N2. That is gear ratio. Only write down, I am gear ratio I am writing. Okay. Gear ratio is 3:1. So N1 is what? A. That is Na input, whereas output is what? ND. Okay. So Na is what? Na is given 100 RPM. By ND we will going to find out. Ratio is 3. Gear ratio will find out 3 is equal to 100 by ND. That is ND is equal to 100 by 3. You will get 9. If you divided about it, 33.33, it will be recurring, it will be continue. So for that purpose, we will go for, let's for understanding, let's take 33 RPM. The point get neglected. Okay. Next we are going to find out, you are getting Na 100 means ND you are getting 33 RPM. Okay. Next in NB the same thing will be happen. Okay. How to find the NB? Okay. How to find the NB? Important is here, the important is how to find NB, because Na and ND are connected. How to find NB? If you want to find NB, this gear ratio BC and AD is not accepted, because you are going to find out the between the two gear B and D. So we have to going to find first the gear ratio which is connected or which is between the B and D. That means what? We have to first find out the gear ratio between B and D. Okay. So in B and D, if you go for gear ratio, another gear ratio, okay, between B and D, okay, this B and this D. So in this case, we already know B is a driver and D is a driven. It is always given. That means D is the output and B is the input. That means output teeth by input teeth. Okay. Output teeth by input teeth. Output is how much? 24 by 8. The same ratio we will get. Okay. That means every ratio in this problem is going to get 7:3:1. So it's a very it will very easy to understand. Now we are going to find out the speed of the B. The speed of the B, how to find? This gear ratio is equal to, speed is same, that is NB input gear, that is NB by ND input by output gear, NB by ND. So NB is what? NB by ND, gear ratio is 3. ND we already know 33 or 100 by 3. This NB is equal to, ND is equal to 100 by 3. Okay, that means this NB is equal to how much? Okay, this NB is equal to 100 by 3 into 3 is equal to 100 RPM. Okay, so what you are going to getting over here, the size is same. Okay, this driver A size is 8, this B size is 8, driven gear size is 24, this driven gear size is 24. So that's the only thing in which, for that purposes, the speed of the A is equal to the speed of the B. Okay, that means NB is 100, NA is also 100 RPM. Same thing over here, we are getting ND is 100 by 3. ND is equal to maybe take 33 RPM. So similarly, we will get NC also 33 RPM. Okay. So for the torque calculation of 600 Newton meter of torque, we are found NC. The amount of torque in NC equal to an amount of torque in D, and a B torque is equal to A torque. The same formula, same way. Torque is how much? T out gear ratio into T in. Okay, that means T out gear ratio into T in. So it is given that TC is equal to 600 Newton meter. If TC is over 6 Newton meter connected to B, okay, so we know that gear ratio is 3, 3:1 is 3. So for output is what? If this one is driven, means output. B is what? Input. Okay, that is input part. So output is driven, C is given. Okay, that means output is given, already given. Gear ratio is 3. And what is the input? Input we are going to find, that is TB. Okay, TB, it is 200 Newton meter, that is TB. Okay, same thing, if you are getting 200 over here, the same ratio you are getting, means 200 TB you are getting 200, same thing, that is equal to TA also, because the gear ratio is same, and TC is equal to, it will same towards, TC will be same towards TD, that is 600 Newton meter. Okay, and TATB is equal to 200 Newton meter. So here you just look over here, the same thing will happen. If TA and TB, just look, the speed, okay, NA is 100, NB is 100. When the speed is 100, same time the torque over here, they find out this NA and NB speed is 100, whereas the torque, this torque TA and TB, okay, torque TA TB become 200, means it reduces. Okay, it reduces, because just find out this A and B is a small gear, size is very small, that's why speed will be more, okay, the torque will be less. We already given torque is 600 and we are getting the torque over here is 200, that means torque is reduces because the size of the gear is very small. Similarly, the size of driven gear, the both driven gear C and D is very large. For that purpose, the torque remains same because the gear ratio is remains same. So 600 to 600. And over here, what's happened? The NA and NB, the small gear having the same speed 100. When we connected to the larger gear, this C and D is a driven gear, the speed will be reduces to 33 RPM. As the gear ratio is same, for that purpose CD speed is same and AB speed is same. For that purpose, if the gear ratio is same, the torque also we are getting in at AB is same as well as CD is same. That is AB is 200 Newton meter. At that time, the speed is 100 RPM, and where TC and TD is 600 Newton meter. At that time, the speed is 33 RPM. This is all about the complete course of transmission system is completed. Up to it, all the problems of the gears, every parts of transmission system I already get discussed clearly, briefly, and very with short videos and diagrams, everything that possible. Okay, go through my video to learn about the complete transmission system. In the next class, we are going to discuss about a new part or a new system of automobile, that is braking system. Okay, this braking system is very important part. Okay, this braking system is very important part over here. This braking system is very important over the part which we have to go for it, because in the braking system we are going to study about different type of braking system where you can able to stop the vehicle. It is not like the transmission system, because after the transmission system you learn about to move the vehicle. So in the means of braking system, we're going to study about how to stop the vehicle, different type of brakes and brake systems, which I'm going to discuss in the next class. For that purposes, stay tuned for my video, watch my video continuously for the braking video or the braking system automobile. It is very interesting than this transmission system, also very brief. Okay, for that purposes, thank you very much for today's classes, and I will wait for the next video and you will also wait for that. Thank you very much.